Hello, students, and welcome to episode 64 of the online English lessons. Thank you for joining me. It's been a really long time since I've last had a video, so I hope everyone has been doing great and has been improving their English and studying every day. I know my students always are studying every day, right? Okay, so today we are going to be talking about the Olympics, and I think it's been a really exciting Olympics recently. We've had tons of exciting moments in the Olympics, but today we're going to be focusing on not the Olympic events themselves, but how Paris and how France has made these Olympics very eco-friendly and sustainable. And that's been really exciting to see because I know it's a big problem in other countries that host the Olympics. They spend much more money than they anticipate. They pollute the environment. They have problems with workers or building the big stadiums for the ceremonies and the different sports events that they're hosting. This happens to the World Cup as well. And I think that in the future, it's going to be very important that the Olympics becomes a more eco-friendly and sustainable way to host these games. The whole world is watching, and all the countries have agreed to try to reduce their CO2 emissions, to try to be better at protecting the environment and trying to reduce waste. So, if the whole world is agreeing to do this, and if the Olympics is every 4 years and all the countries join, then I think it's important that the Olympics themselves are trying to also be sustainable. So that's going to be today's topic. I hope you guys enjoy today's topic, and let's get into it. So, today's title is called The Paris Olympics, the most green Olympics in history. Last Friday, the 2024 Paris Olympics began with a unique opening ceremony. For the first time ever, the ceremony took place outside, not in a stadium. But the excitement didn't stop there. This year's Olympics are making history by focusing on being the most eco-friendly Olympics ever. Paris 2024 is committed to reducing carbon emissions by 50% compared to the 2016 Rio Olympics and the 2012 London Olympics. They want to be the first Olympic Games to align with the Paris Agreement on climate change. To achieve this, they introduced many new sustainable practices in construction, energy, food, and accommodation. So we'll talk about each of those. Let's talk about the eco-friendly venues. Most of the venues for the games were already built before the Olympics or are temporary structures. Out of the 35 competition venues, 95% fall into this category. The two new venues were constructed using low carbon methods. They include features like solar panels and recycled plastic materials. A historical site, the Palace of Versailles, is hosting some exciting events: the equestrian events and the modern pentathlon, which combines fencing, swimming, horse riding, pistol shooting, and running, will take place there. Another great feature is that 80% of the Olympic venues are within 10 kilometers of the Olympic Village. They are connected by new bike lanes, and all venues can be reached by public transport. Let's talk about sustainable energy. All the energy for the Paris Olympics comes from renewable sources like wind, solar, and nuclear power. If extra power is needed, they will use generators fueled by biofuel, batteries, or hydrogen, not diesel. This is a significant improvement from the 4 million liters of diesel used at the 2012 London Olympics. The venues will stay connected to the national electric grid, and their sustainable features will continue to benefit the city even after the games. The next topic is talking about the food, green meals. The food served at the Olympics is also eco-friendly. The meals will have half the carbon footprint of a typical French meal. This is achieved by increasing plant-based ingredients and using 80% locally sourced French produce. All food equipment will be reused, and the use of single-use plastics will be cut by 50%. Next is the eco-friendly accommodations. In the Olympic Village, athletes will stay in green accommodations. Beds are made from recycled cardboard, chairs from recycled bottle caps, and coffee tables from old badminton shuttlecocks. Additionally, 75% of the sports equipment and technology used during the games are rented or borrowed. After the Olympics, all equipment and furniture will be reused, resold, or donated. Next topic is travel and carbon offset. One of the biggest challenges is reducing the carbon footprint of travel, especially for spectators coming from around the world. To help with this, Air France, the official airline partner, will match each customer's contribution to sustainable aviation fuel, also called SAF, for flights within mainland France and French Polynesia during the Olympics. SAF cuts CO2 emissions by at least 75% compared to regular fuel. Also, Canadian athletes like Jessie Fleming from the women's soccer team are pledging to support sustainability organizations to offset the carbon cost of their travel. So, looking ahead, the Paris 2024 Olympics have introduced many inspiring green initiatives. The hope is that these efforts will set a new standard for future Olympic Games and inspire other global events to follow suit. By focusing on sustainability, Paris is paving the way for a greener, more sustainable future for sports and beyond. All right, let's take a look at our vocabulary this week. And I have chosen 5 vocabulary words or phrases. And the first one is called eco-friendly. In our essay, it says, this Paris Olympics is going to be focusing on being the most eco-friendly Olympics ever. There are also several eco-friendly phrases used throughout the essay. So eco-friendly means products or practices that do not harm the environment and help to protect it. So this is like not using plastic for meals, that's eco-friendly, or not throwing away the sports equipment after the Olympics is done, donating it, selling it, or something like that. That's also eco-friendly. It's recycling. Our next vocab word is the word align. Align. In our essay, it comes up in this sentence. They want to be the first Olympic Games to align with the Paris Agreement on climate change. So the word align means to give support to. And this could be a person, organization, or cause. Now, also, the Paris Climate Agreement was an agreement between all the major developed nations to make active climate changes. And it was signed by many, many countries around the world, including France, Japan, the United States, and other European countries. And it was in a summit in France where the agreement was signed. So it's called the Paris Agreement. So Paris Olympics wants to be in alignment, in agreement or support with their Paris Agreement on climate change. The next word is accommodation. Accommodation means a room or group of rooms or a building in which someone may live or stay. So the Olympics has a place where all the athletes stay. That's called the Olympic Village. And these accommodations are also eco-friendly. So they tried to be eco-friendly by having cardboard box beds and chairs made from plastic bottle caps and things like that. The next word is equestrian. Equestrian. And this just means sports relating to horse or horse riding. The equestrian events at the Olympics this year are in a very historical place, the Palace of Versailles. I watched this event and it was very exciting to see the palace in the background in some of the shots when the athletes were riding the horses. Our final word is the word biofuel. Biofuel. And this is a compound word. It's two words put together. Bio, like biology, and fuel. So bio is like living things. The study of living things is biology. And fuel is, of course, energy, a substance that creates energy. So fuel made from living things, such as plants, that is less harmful to the environment than traditional fuels. In the article, it talks about a traditional fuel, diesel, which is harmful to the environment, and the Paris Olympics tried to not use diesel as much as possible. All right, those are our vocab words. Now let's move on to our discussion questions, and I'll go back to the full screen so you can see my handsome face. So our discussion questions are, number one, have you been watching the Paris Olympics, and what events have you been following or watching? Number two, are these green practices, eco-friendly practices, important in future Olympics? Why or why not? Number three, what are some other ways cities can be more sustainable in future major events? So not just the Olympics, but maybe the World Cup or other sporting events, or even concerts or major music festivals and things like that. Number four, do you do anything to be more eco-friendly or reduce pollution? So for example, do you use a tote bag when you go shopping? Do you make sure to turn the lights off at home in rooms that you're not using, and things like that? And number five, if you were an athlete in the Olympic Games, what event would you like to join? I'll answer that question. This Olympics, I've been watching several events, very, very exciting events. The basketball, the 3-on-3 basketball events, skateboarding, fencing, handball, and so on. But I think the one that made me the most excited, and a very traditional event, is volleyball. I think if I was an athlete in the Olympic Games, I would love to join the volleyball team. And just being a part of a big team and playing volleyball every day would be very exciting. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying your summer, you're enjoying the Olympics, and you have a lot to talk about in these discussion questions. That's all for today. I'll see you later. Bye.